Hello everyone and welcome to the Week 30 midweek edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial plays from Wednesday night. I'm Simon Borg. We start in Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where Atlanta won 3-0, and they actually scored a fourth time in this one, but it was disallowed in the 55th minute after video review. As you see on this freeze frame here, forward Josef Martinez has his shoulder just a hair past the final defender. It was a close one, but definitely the right call. Atlanta were just pouring it on the Philadelphia Union, and referee Mark Geiger had a big decision to make in minute 51. But he does not whistle for the penalty here, and I think it's the correct decision. Although Atlanta head coach Tata Martino is baffled. But when we look at the replay, Union defender Oguchi Onyewu simply falls on the ball. No handball. We saw another case of video review in Orlando, where referee Silvio Petrescu showed New England's Xavier Kouassi a yellow card for this tackle on Seb Hines. But after taking a look at the replay on video review, Petrescu changed it to a red card, and this was controversial. But the angle really matters here. From here, it looks like Kouassi leaves his leg in, straight-legged, and makes contact with the studs at 90 degrees when he didn't have to. But from this angle, you see Kouassi's leg hits the side of Hines' leg, which to me makes it reckless play and not endangering the safety. In addition to that red card, there were 8 other yellow cards shown by Petrescu, including this one to Kaká for simulation. And Petrescu again was spot on here for me. Even though you don't technically need contact for a foul, Claude Dielna's leg does not impede Kaká's run, and the Orlando captain lets himself go. But he'd make up for it in a big way a little later with 2 goals, including this absolute gem. Later in the match, when New England's Lee Nguyen went down in the Orlando box, goalkeeper Joe Bendik made sure to remind the referee that he gave Kaká a yellow for simulation, and reading lips here, he says that has to be a yellow, referring to what he thought to be a dive by Lee Nguyen. Bendik may have been absolutely convinced, but that's tough for us to say from the angle we have. However, in my opinion, Petrescu would spare the Revs a few minutes earlier. Defender Claude Dielna was sitting on a yellow when he committed this foul on Orlando's Richie Larea, and I thought that was a reckless, cynical foul to stop a promising attack and worthy of a second yellow. But Petrescu did not issue the caution. Another yellow card turned red card via video review came in Seattle, where I think referee Robert Sabiga made the right call to overturn his decision. Vancouver's Tony Tchani is way late, and he sends his studs into Christian Roldan's groin area. That's not just reckless, that's endangering the safety, and that's a good red card for me. Next up, the wild 3-3 draw in the rivalry match between the New York Red Bulls and DC United, and the visitors were up 2-1 at one point on this goal by Patrick Mullins. But you see here after the play that Red Bulls head coach Jesse Marsch was asking the fourth official, can we VAR the foul? Can we VAR the foul? And Marsch is referring to this contact between Lloyd Sam and Connor Lade, which was not ruled an infraction by referee Chris Penso. Now, I agree with Marsch, and I also think this was a foul by Sam. But video review cannot be used by the referee because the incident did not come in the attacking phase of play, directly leading up to a goal, a penalty kick, or a dog-so red card. Once the restart is taken, in this case the throw-in, that's a whole new phase of play, and any previous potential foul is not reviewable. Now, the Red Bulls would fight back and retake the lead via a penalty, which some DC fans didn't think was deserved, but I sure do. Look at how Paul Arriola charges Gonzalo Verón in the back. So I agree with the penalty called here by Chris Penso, but I would have also issued a red card to Arriola, who I don't think is playing the ball. He's playing the man, and he stops a clear goal-scoring opportunity. But Penso opted not to show any cards. This was a tense affair, and we saw a flare-up between New York defender Michael Murillo and former Red Bull Lloyd Sam. And you see Sam sticking the leg out in retaliation. No cards are shown by referee Chris Penso. I would have gone for a yellow card to both. Moving to Montreal, where New York City FC's Jack Harrison wanted an early 9th-minute penalty, but no whistle was forthcoming from referee Hilario Grajera. And even on replay, we don't have a good enough look at this one to tell for sure. On the other end of the field, in the 28th minute, it was the Montreal fans who were shouting for a handball, and although it looked suspicious to me from a distance, check out that left arm from New York defender Frédéric Briand, we don't get a second look at it. However, we assume the VAR did, and no video review was ordered. And just a few seconds later, NYCFC would score their only goal of the match. It was a frustrating match for the Impact, and I felt Montreal star Ignacio Piatti risked big time in the 52nd minute when he kicked out with a good dose of force at NYCFC's Alexander Ring. This was red card worthy to me, but the referee decides against any cards in this case, and there was also no video review of the incident. A little over 10 minutes later, Montreal were pushing for the equalizer, and forward Anthony Jackson-Amel takes a tumble in the box. But he did not get the penalty kick, and I think rightfully so. NYCFC defender Alexander Callens does well to assume position against them, and no way that's a foul. In San Jose, we saw an excellent decision by assistant referee Peter Balciunas on the goal-by-fire teenager Georgiy Mihailovic. We don't have the best angle, but it does look like Florian Ljungwirth's back leg keeps Mihailovic on, and the flag never comes up. Fire go up 1-0. And the assistant referee on the other side of the field, Eduardo Mariscal, was not to be outdone. He also nails this call as defender Francois Affolter keeps Nemanja Nikolic on, and the Fire scored their third goal en route to a 4-1 win. Yes, the Quakes avoided the shutout, but they were also hoping for a penalty in minute 78, except I thought referee Drew Fisher did well not to call this one. You see the shot strikes Chicago defender João Meira in the sternum, and then it comes off his arm. That's ball to hand and not hand to ball. At Toyota Stadium, FC Dallas had this one in the bag early, and up 2-0 in the second half, they arguably deserved to also go up a man when Colorado defender Bobby Burling, who was already on a yellow, well, he commits this foul, which I thought was worthy of a second yellow for stopping a promising attack. You see on the replay that Burling is going one way, and then with the ball long gone, he changes direction and stops Michael Barrios. Referee Ricardo Salazar decides not to show a card. And I thought the Rapids also got lucky that Bismarck Boateng didn't get sent off for following through and sending his right studs into the legs of Dallas playmaker Mauro Diaz. I thought that was unnecessary, and FC Dallas veteran Javi Morales felt the same way and confronted Boateng, going head-to-head with him, which Boateng clearly did not appreciate. No cards were shown here. But the best call of the entire MLS night for me was made by assistant referee Jeffrey Greasing. He raises his flag to signal that FC Dallas midfielder Carlos Grueso is in an offside position on the initial shot, which he touches into the back of the net. That was tight, but if you take into account the angle we have, it looked to me to be the right call. And now a crazy sequence in Houston, where in the 5th minute, you see there's this aerial challenge, then a shot at LA's goalkeeper, who then promptly walks outside the box with the ball in his hands and puts the ball down as if he's about to take a free kick. Except the referee Fotis Bazakos had never whistled for a free kick. There was no whistle. The whistle only came after the LA keeper walked outside the box with the ball in his hand, which technically constitutes a handball infraction. And that's what the Dynamo are arguing, and you even see Romel Kyoto lining up to take a free kick that he thought was coming. But after a minute or so of explanations, the referee rolls the ball back to the LA keeper, who restarts play in the box. This was a wild one, which also finished 3-3 by the way, but Houston had a goal called back in the 37th minute, and I think Fotis Bazakos was right to call the foul here. You see here Houston's Romel Kyoto with the forearm to the back of LA defender Hugo Arellano. Arellano was also involved in a rough tackle in the 66th minute as he comes flying in on Kyoto, but the referee doesn't whistle a foul and play continues. When I look at the replays, I think it's both a foul and a yellow, and since Arellano was already on a yellow, it would have meant the Galaxy going down to 10 men with around 24 minutes to go. So Arellano would stay in the game, and he went on to concede a penalty 7 minutes from time when he pulled down Alberto Ellis in the box. No doubt about that one, but given it's an intentional foul and it stops a promising attack, I think that should have been a second yellow to Arellano. But it wasn't shown, and Dynamo head coach Wilmer Cabrera can't believe it. The final card count in this one was 7 yellows, and 5 were flashed at Galaxy players, including this one in second half stoppage time to Jermaine Jones. And although I agree with the yellow here, Jones was really pushing his luck with that kind of lunge. Now it's your turn. Tell us what you think of all these plays in the comments. For now, that's all for us. For our editor, Rich Hernandez, I'm Simon Borg. See you next time!